Meanwhile, NBC special correspondent Tom Brokaw is always looking for ways to highlight the work being done by others. And for this next story, he didn't have to look very far. Meredith, his wife of more than 50 years, has been making a real difference for women in a corner of the world that really needs it. And she started with one simple idea.
Right.
Meredith first traveled to Malawi 3 years ago with a friend who grew up there, Anna Misawaya Keys. Anna and the women of Mzuzu realized they had a crisis that could not wait. In a country of 14 million people, 1 million were AIDS orphans. They needed to be fed and educated. But how?
We'd go down these little streets with all the shops along the way. I couldn't get over the fact that every fourth or fifth one was a carpentry shop making coffins. It just broke your heart.
For AIDS victims.
Yeah, for all the people that were dying.
When she first visited the Kwithu kitchen, the Friendship Kitchen, where they feed 200 orphans 3 times a week, Meredith noticed something.
We were driving down the road and there were one seller after another with pyramids of tomatoes. And I said to Anna, what do you do when it's the rainy season and you don't have the tomatoes for your food? And Anna said,
we don't have tomatoes, and tomatoes is very important for us because every dish we need tomatoes.
So we asked some of the women at the center if they would like to learn how to can tomatoes, and they were very excited about it.
Growing up in South Dakota, canning tomatoes was a household routine. Meredith decided she would transfer those skills from the Great Plains to Eastern Africa. She shipped over canning supplies, not available in Malawi, enlisted New York friends, and set off to establish a business.
I am really impressed about the amount of water that you're squeezing out of here.
The enterprising women of Kwithu Farms were ready.
Before this project started, you never canned tomatoes, right?
No.
Jacinta Jerry runs the show here, and she has big plans for the Kwithu Kitchen tomatoes.
Are you the tomato queen of Mzuzu?
Of course, yes. We are the queen now, not only in Mzuzu, but all over Malawi.
And how successful do you want to become? Do you want to become very big?
Yes, of course. Our dream is to grow.
That dream is quickly becoming a reality. The Kwithu Kitchen tomatoes are sold in more than 15 supermarkets around Malawi, and upscale lodges like this one in the capital city of Lilongwe.
Do you know that I'm the one that taught the women how to do this?
Oh, you're taking that to yourself. That's great.
The Kwithu Kitchens project is representative of what works here, not handouts, but local solutions to local problems. The women of Mzuzu have made the most important investment they could in their children and their future. And it all started with tomatoes from their backyards.
You are full of hope, and if I can be a small part of helping your dreams, I'm very, very happy.
You've been can-do all of your life, in a lot of ways. You must be stunned by the success of this.
I am absolutely stunned. What started out as a simple little idea has taken on a life of its own.
Make no mistake, this remains one of the poorest countries in the world.
You say, oh, what I'm doing or what these people are doing is such a small drop in the bucket. But the fact is, if you do nothing, there wouldn't even be that drop in the bucket. So I'm not a believer in saying it's just such a small project that it doesn't matter. I think it matters.
And Tom and Meredith join us now. Guys, good to see you. Good morning. And let's just start where you ended. You know, it's a simple thing. It sounds like a little thing, and yet it has a major impact.
It does have a major impact. And you know, Matt, we're all used to giving aid to people, aid after aid, and not seeing a lot of results. So by changing aid to innovation, where they take on the project and do it themselves, it's just a world of difference.
Well, Tom, you get to travel with Meredith, so you get to admire your wife, but also see what an incredible impact this is having on the community there.
Well, I mean, anyone who's known us, and we've been around for a long time, the two of us, know they know where the secret of the family is, and Meredith is the one who gets things done. But we both have believed for some time, start small, make it larger, have an impact. That's a perfect example of what you can do. This is not a boutique business. This is a real business that they have established there. And the enormous amount of pride that they have really is inspiring as well. Stuart and Elizabeth Bohart are 2 New Yorkers, are friends of ours. They're part of it. Their family's involved in it. So it's that kind of thing around the world that you begin to build hope, as well as the kind of business model that you need to give those countries their own economy.
And Meredith, I guess you can encourage other people who don't think they can make a difference to get in there and roll their sleeves up.
Absolutely. It is a simple idea, but there are lots of ways in which people can earn a living for themselves, and I think if you think about the things that you're passionate about and what you're able to impart to other people, it's an easy thing.
I love, Meredith, that this is a skill you learned as a little girl in the Great Plains and you brought it to Africa. And I love, Tom, that you were flying the flag. The Today Show hat was
Way to
on.
go. Spreading the news to other continents, Tom. Way to go.